Hey, shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome back. I thank you again for joining me. Today, I want to talk about something you might not be aware of, but anyways, I just wanted to, put it out there. And it's called it's the noteworthy codices, ancient codices that you've probably never heard about. Old ancient codices and ancient manuscripts that are in museums around the world. And I'm going to start out with the first one. The first one is the Aleppo Codex, and I'm going to give you, when I give you the names of them, I'm just going to give you a little brief summary, and I encourage you to look them up for yourselves. Just check them out. But the Aleppo Codex, a 10th century Hebrew manuscript containing all the books of the Old Testament. It was a person by the name of Shilomo ben Bayas wrote the consonantal text, the Masoretic system, vowel points, and marginal notes of the premier Tiberian scholar Aaron ben Moses ben Asher is faithfully represented in this codex. About 1/4 of this manuscript was lost during the anti-Jewish riots in 1947, including most of the Torah and the 9 books of the third division of the Hebrew Bible. So that's the first one, the Aleppo Codex. Second one is the Alexandrinus Codex, a 5th century Greek manuscript containing nearly all the books of the Old and New Testaments, including the Apocrypha and other non-canonical books such as 1st and 2nd Clement. This codex is identified by the letter A. So that's another one right there. Now we'll go to the third one. It's called, third one is the Codex Beza, B-E-Z-A, a 5th or 6th century Latin or Greek Latin manuscript containing nearly all of the Gospels, Acts, and a portion of 3rd John. The Unicel Codex received its name from the final owner, Theodore Beza, the Protestant reformer. It is identified by the letter D and is the primary representative of the Western text and exhibits wide variations in its readings. Okay, so and just give you a little definition of what a codex. A codex is one book, and codices is like plural for that. And it's in as you may or may not know, books today, what we call codex, which is a book, it's said that it was first invented and developed in Antioch by the Messianic movement. You can look that up for yourself. Now we're going to go to the next one. The Epimia Recepticus, a 5th century Greek manuscript containing parts of the Old and New Testament books, written initially in Alexandria, Egypt. This manuscript is a palimpsestic, meaning of its original script of the entire Old and New Testament was erased. It was reused by Ephraim of Syria, who recorded his sermon on the leaves of the manuscript in the 1100 AD. Next one is going to be the one that's Origen, which of course you know him through church history, I'm sure, and it was his Hexapla, the earliest manuscript of the Greek Old Testament, prepared by Origen at the Library of Caesarea in the 3rd century AD. The Hexapla contained 6 parallel columns: the Hebrew Old Testament text, the Hebrew consonants transliterated into the Greek letters, Aquila's Greek version from 130 AD, and the Septuagint and Theodotion's Greek version from 190 AD. Only a few surviving fragments of this work still exist. Old manuscripts come hard by these days, Next one is the Leningrad Codex, an 11th century Hebrew manuscript containing the entire Old Testament text. Samuel ben Jacob wrote the consonantal text in around 1008 AD. This codex was later corrected according to the text, vowel points, accent marks, and the Masoretic of the Aleppo Codex. This is the earliest dated manuscript containing the complete Hebrew Bible. So, anyways, that's before I move on. This all these codexes have been and are being studied by scholars to this day, and not there's only probably one single scholar that's actually seen all of these because they're hard to get into to get to look at and everything. The next one is the Masoretic Text, a name given to the fixed consonantal text annotated for punctuation with accent marks and vocalization vowel points, including marginal notes, called the Masoretic, meaning tradition. This text, which was produced by the Tiberian Masoretes and sealed in the early 900 AD, eventually became the accepted standard text of the Hebrew Bible. So that's another one right there. And like I said before, check up on it. Get online, check it out and everything. Next one is Septuagint. Septuagint, the Greek translation for the Hebrew Bible. The name Septuagint comes from the Latin meaning 70. It is often abbreviated LXX. It includes writings not found in the traditional Hebrew canon. This additional book is known as the Apocrypha, or to Protestants, and as the books of the Roman Catholics. According to legend, the Egyptian king Ptolemy II, from 285 to 246 BC, sent a request to Jerusalem for the delegation of 6 men from each of the tribes of Israel to translate the Hebrew scriptures into Greek. These 72 men went to Alexandria and translated the Bible in 70 days, supposedly. Next one is one of the oldest. This is one of two oldest texts that you need to keep an eye on. The Codex Sanctus, a 4th century vellum Greek manuscript discovered by Constantine Tischendorf in 1859 in the garbage bin at the monastery of St. Catherine's near Mount Sinai. This codex was identified by the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet and contains the entire New Testament except Mark 16, verse 9 through 10, which I'll get into that in the next one or two about this verse. And John 7, verse 53, and chapter 8, verse 11, and half of the Old Testament with the Apocrypha in Greek. So Sinaiticus is one of the oldest manuscripts we have. So now we'll go to the next one, and this one is the Textus Receptus, the printed Greek New Testament of the Leisure brothers of Leyden, which appeared with the preface containing these Latin words meaning received text. So we call them the received text in English. The term received text was first used in reference to the Greek text of Stephanus during the 1800s, when scholars began to debate its worth for translation purposes. Until the 19th century, the received text was the authoritative Greek text of the New Testament. This term collectively refers to the text of Erasmus, Stephanus, Beza, and Elijah, which are based largely on the readings of the vast majority of the New Testament witnesses written in Greek. So that there is an important one too. Now we're going to go to the other one, the Codex Vaticanus, a 4th century Greek manuscript that lay hidden in the Vatican Library from the 1400s to 1800s AD, after which time it was published. This is identified by the letter B. The Greek manuscript contains most of the Old New Testament, including sections from Genesis, chapter 1 through 46, chapter 1, verse 1, 46, verse 28, and then you go to Psalms 105, verse 27, and 137, verse 6, and Hebrew chapter 9, verse 15 to the end of Revelation. It also contains the Apocrypha, but Mark 16, chapter 16, verse 9, 20, and John 7, 53, and 8, 11 were purposely omitted from the text. Like I said before, I'm going to do some a show on Mark 16, verse 7, 9, verse 20 here, whenever, next few days or whenever. The last one we're going to go to is the Vulgate. The Vulgate is one of the various Latin versions of the Bible. The title comes from the Vulgata edition, meaning the old and popular edition, and is applied both to the early Old Latin versions, which dates from about 150 AD, and to Jerome's Latin translation of 405 AD, used by the Roman Catholic Church today after many revisions through the centuries. So it's been, reviewed, through the centuries. But anyways, I'm going to go back to the Codex, the Codex Sinaiticus, and that was one of probably the earliest ones we've got. There's two of them. We got one of the earliest ones we've got where it's less copies and it's closer to the source. The source from the original copy. And anyways, I just I thought that would be, how do you say it? I thought that'd be enlightening to you. I just wanted to refresh some people's memories about these codices, or teach some people about them, that they actually exist. They're in museums. They've been studied. They are being studied. And that's where we get some of our translations from in our Bibles. But that's all I really want to say right now. And it's all, I don't know how, I'll just let you know. Thank you again for, tuning in, and please give me some big thumbs up and hit the notification bell, and, subscribe, and, hit me on the comments and let me know what you think about these codexes, and I'll be glad to hear from you and maybe respond to you if I'm not too busy. But besides that, peace out and shalom until we meet again.